Whoa there, traveler. Hello, hello, and welcome to our little game of Pathfinder 2nd edition. Let's join our people in the room while they're messing with zombies. Lost my mouse for a moment. Found it. Greetings.
Hello.
Good day.
Alrighty. As discussed but a moment ago, every corner so far has been taken down. Sign, Malia, and Philip were all resigned to their corners, and they were taking out as many enemies as humanly possible. After a while, there were only small shamblers, so looking about, you guys can see piles of undead that aren't really worth too much, incredibly weak in stature and such. Everyone that has survived has moved to the town center. There is indeed the old cart, weirdly enough, very close to where Vega is currently standing, and the horse, which is indeed tied up. You rolled very high in your perception arbalist, which gives you guys about 5-ish plus minutes to decide what you want to do before it's time to get the hell out of here.
We go fix the cart, and then fail, and then die.
And I would like Philip to get the corpse of the dwarf that died. Can't just leave him behind.
All right. You let Philip know that, and he pauses for a moment, kind of staring off into the distance. He nods and he starts to walk off as you let him know that. He's being incredibly cautious as he heads on.
Flint help him out, I guess, with watching his back.
Perfect. And as Flint's checking his back and whatnot, he kind of kicks the dead skeletal horse off to the side. And while that's happening, one of the other helpers comes from one of the further homes where Sign was defending. And they walk up to your group, and they start looking around, and they're counting heads. And jumping between each of you, you just hear one of them say, "Where's Fasol?"
The dwarven guy?
Yeah.
He was ambushed.
Is he just hurt and you're getting him, or what?
Sadly, no.
He's dead.
We're bringing him back now.
Two of them look to each other. One has anger in their eyes, not necessarily directed towards you, but they nod, let out a breath, and continue collecting all the shit they have. They were piling a lot of it from these homes. They're now beginning to put it into a larger pile. There's a small little hand cart, where they're going to basically drag all that back to the main area of business. There's no nonsense going on where Philip is, and Flint. So with that, he throws a blanket on him, wraps him up, and brings him on over, trying to keep the body away from everybody else. And in this time, I've already healed Kane and Vega for 5. This is going to be about 5 minutes of you guys messing around. What is the plan?
I'm going to look at the cart with Kane, I guess.
Yeah, I want to see
anyone else good at repairing? I don't know.
I don't think I'm good at repairing, but I can still help if you want to try.
Sure.
This is the cart from the previous trip, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess we should first check if there's anything of value in there anyway.
Upon moving, we can just grab and run with.
Yeah, upon moving over to it, there's definitely some stuff in there. You'll need to sort through various boxes and such, but it looks like they left a decent amount of dried food, other various materials, possibly some healing salves and things of that nature that, from what you can tell, seem to be okay. There's some growth on the outside of the boxes, but everything inside doesn't seem to be touched.
All right, we can take wares when we're on our way back home. So I'll just, start assessing the wagon, what's wrong with it, if anything is wrong with it.
There's definitely some wheel funk going on. It must have crashed or got stuck on something, a bramble. Very difficult to tell, but it's not horribly damaged. It's just you'll need someone who's relatively skilled at getting something fixed up right quick.
Well, that's me.
Perfect.
Technically. Sadly, I don't have the quick repair feat, but that's fine, I guess.
I can try to help.
Yeah, realistically, it's not entirely broken, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. For all this nonsense, though, if you'd like to assist Kane, you can roll crafting for me. And then Arbalist, you have your... what's higher, your crafting or your wood lore?
Engineering lore is a +6, and my crafting is also +6, but I get a +1 from my
wood, right?
Carpentry bullshit.
Okay. So go ahead and roll that for me.
Although engineering lore is a specific one, so it might have a lower DC, but that's up to you.
Yes. So specifically from that will have a lower DC, and obviously specifically having the knowledge, being able to, assess wood makes it much easier for you.
Then I'll roll with lore, I guess.
As we are rolling here as well, everyone make sure you add 1 hero point.
It's a 19.
That is indeed a 19. So, Kane, that is not high enough to assist Arbalist, but a 19 is indeed enough to get things fixed. It won't be fast, it won't be slow, it's going to be about the rate we're expecting it to be. So in a little over 5, maybe around 8 or so minutes, we can have some of the wheels, pop back together, Sign, Malia, Philip. They're able to lend some muscle, move things around. They're not very smart in terms of getting this wagon fixed, but they're here to lift things and move things about. Maybe they can look in to see if there's any empty boxes that could just be chucked. Just in case something goes awry, we don't want to lose this wagon as well. And Vega, you have to figure out how to deal with this horse.
All right, so here's a little background lore. I can't remember if I mentioned it. I may have, so if I did, then I'm probably potentially changing up something, but whatever. When I was summoned back to my village, they gave me a pendant that had been passed down from our goddess for who knows how long, and it supposedly woke up. So I'm going to whip this pendant out and I'm going to show it to the horse.
Alrighty. You do so. It is laying on its side, missing one leg. The other 3 legs are indeed tied, and it is not really trying to escape. It's very clearly been defeated. You whip out this pendant. It pauses, slowly turns its head to look at you, and is staring at the pendant.
This is my goddess. We serve the same person, so let's be buds.
Goddess from a long dead era.
This pendant says otherwise, but all right.
And why should I join you?
That's a very good question.
What's a very vague answer?
Well,
because if not, you die.
The horse turns out to be God.
Yeah, do I want to do that simplistic, or do I like my overall general goal?
Put it this way, you're either rolling diplomacy or intimidation. You choose.
Oh, I'm better at intimidation, for sure.
All right, you don't necessarily have to threaten murder, but you can ask them to join in a very Vega-esque way. Up to you.
All right, yes. Because if you don't, I will respect my goddess's wishes and end your miserable life.
Please roll.
You're miserable on life.
You're miserable on life, yes.
It yells us from the back.
That sounds pretty intimidating to me. All right.
That's fairly intimidating.
A 24. That's pretty intimidating. One might actually say.
What if we made it a 25?
It wouldn't be a crit, but it'd be higher.
Sadly.
So I will let you guys know if you're one off from a crit. Looking at you, the pendant.
Oh, I have a skill that'll matter if we're one off. Sorry, I can get a skill that won't matter if we're one off. So thank you for saying that.
The bone horse looks at you, Vega, looking at your team, and all around, it's surrounded by 10 plus people at this point. Checking around, you're not sure if it's aware the horde is on the way. Then looking back to you, it says, I seem to be missing one of my legs. Will the blessing of the goddess return this leg to me?
Swear an oath that you won't harm me or my companions or anyone I'm associated with in a positive way.
Besides falling to damnation, what else do I stand to gain from this? I am quite well aware that my potentially former compatriots have harmed your people. I don't see them accepting me.
I'll vouch for you. I'm on a mission to find the goddess, so you might even get to meet her.
Then we shall find her together. Fine, return to me my leg, and I will assist you temporarily.
Is he gonna oath to the pendant, please?
How do you want him to oath the pendant?
I'll hold it out to him, and he just needs to say what I said.
All right, he repeats precisely what you said, and you can feel somewhat of a chill wrap around the pendant for just a moment, Vega. It looks to you, looks back to its empty leg socket, then rapidly looks back to you.
I will quickly go pick up the leg and attempt to reattach it.
Wonderful. I thank you very much, my new compatriot, but that is backwards.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'll try to reattach it the right way.
Excellent. Please take
Breaking
your
sounds.
time. Yeah, there's like bone gnashing against bone and cracking, and it's not great.
Usually these things are inside the body. I'm not really sure how they look like they're supposed to be outside.
Well, they are my body. A little to the left, twist it. Perfect. Excellent. It just pops right into place. The horse whips itself around, looks about, and is very much hoping not to be murdered by everyone as a couple of them stop to look at the horse, and their eyes quickly jump to you, Vega.
Great. I'll shout across the way, hey guys, how's that cart coming along? We have another horse.
Great, he can pull it then.
Great.
Hmm.
I guess I'll lead the horse over to the cart.
All right, as you pull the horse over to the cart, you notice something now that you've gotten very intimately close with it, Vega. I mentioned before, all of you heard no animals in the area, but now that the din of combat has faded, you do indeed begin to hear something. Not the shuffling of feet from a distance, but a buzzing. And Vega, you can see the source of that buzzing is on this beast that lies before you as it gets up and begins to clop over to the new cart.
What is it?
Upon close inspection, you can see that there are flies buzzing and swirling all around this thing, running along its ribs, primarily hiding inside various pockets of its bones as not to be seen. And specifically, you notice that these flies are a dark blood red.
Do I have any reason to think they might be keeping the horse alive?
Potentially.
I mean, they're definitely not natural.
As you had to move by various corpses to get here, you can see that some flies, looking very similar to these ones, are leaving the dead bodies of some of the other corpses and making their way downtown, just flying about.
What kind of recall knowledge check is that? Those flies.
Yes, I would also like to do one of those.
Go ahead and throw religion or occult for me.
Yes.
Occult will be easier.
Weirdly enough, my religion is a +2. I'm not sure why, but...
So is mine. I'm going to roll religion because that makes sense
Is
for...
it wisdom? Oh, it is wisdom, probably. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
You want to stare at flies too, Kane? Or are you busy with the cart?
I mean, if I'm free to stare at flies and I notice that everyone else is also staring at flies, I'll be like, what are you guys doing?
These are weird flies.
This horse is infected with flies.
Are they horse flies?
I'm alarmed that they're
Yes,
blood red.
I will look at the flies and roll occultism.
See, that's better than ours.
Yeah, it's a 20 is indeed. Much better. Looking about, you notice, you specifically, Vega and Arbalest, really 14 and 11, but with a 20, there's definitely something unique about these. Looking about, Kane, you can see these very same flies are currently evacuating the corpses of the various individuals that you felled not too long ago. They don't mean to aggro to you. They don't bite or lash out. But upon closer inspection, you smell first something very foul. You're not sure if it was coming from the corpses initially, but as these flies are just flitting about, you can tell it's actually coming directly from these little things. They all smell like death, far stronger than they should, and far stronger for their size.
Do I have anything to catch them with? I could take some to look at later, maybe. I don't think I have anything.
Honestly, one of
Do I
you,
even have like a jar?
someone has a jar, I can guarantee it. There's so many people here, and there's so many homes, I can guarantee you there's a jar.
Yeah, I'll just go to someone until someone gives me a jar.
All right. You're able
And then I'll try to
to...
catch one.
Flies
I
are
have
relatively...
an empty potency oil flask for you, I guess.
also that. So we're all jarred up.
Just
Fortunately,
make sure the fly doesn't eat the potency oil. You might become stronger.
Oh no.
Fortunately, you had a moment to watch these flies, Kane, and they're a little fast, but you notice they are slightly slower than flies you've seen in the past, as if they're a little more bulbousy. Slightly fatter bodies than what their wings can support. After watching their patterns a couple times, you're able to fairly easily catch a handful of them. And we'll say like 1 or 2 jars. So you have a good amount of these flies now.
Okay. And then I'll just, I don't know, swat the rest of them if I can. I don't want to deal with the rest of them.
And they're sitting like in the horse, right?
The ones that are flying about are like moving away from it, but there are some that are just crawling on the horse. They'll occasionally like fly off a bone, off its shoulder, and go into its eye. But yeah.
So they aren't like concentrated in the horse or something?
No. You can tell that with how many are flying away, there were maybe not an equal amount because the horse is so large, but there were some that were crawling about inside these corpses.
This jar would make a really good stink bomb.
Maybe.
Alrighty, we'll say
How do stink bombs work against undead that can't smell?
Well, I didn't mean against undead, but...
Yeah, sure.
So, we'll say about 8 or so minutes have passed. The cart is mostly fixed up. You guys tested a bit after throwing out some of the empty crates. We can fit some more people on here and some more materials, fortunately. Nothing too heavy, as we're not necessarily sure about the actual weight it can currently carry, with the wheels having been fixed. But with this horse, as long as he doesn't run astray, we should be good. Kane, you are healed to full. Vega, you're definitely looking a little spicy. But now, by this point, indeed, Molly was up on one of these roofs, looking about, and she whistles down for your group to signify that they're going to be here within seconds, basically. So we have like less than a minute to preparing and everything stacked up. Fortunately, the villagers here have basically put everything in both carts. We're set and ready to go. It's just a matter of getting now, effectively.
I will hurriedly lasso the horse to this new old cart.
The old new cart?
The new cart?
As you do this, it looks towards you, Vega, and says, "You may just ask nicely. We can communicate."
Come on, Blossom buddy, let's go. Move them legs.
Blossom does so.
Everyone run.
And everyone jumping up into both of these carts, for now, are safe. As we turn about, though, we realize very quickly that the exit we came through, we're not in the heart of the town, but we're relatively close to it. It seems to be blocked, at least the main highway. In terms of safety, the best way to get through here, of course, is this same road. There aren't hundreds of them, but there's a worrying amount. Of course, we can ram through them with the horses, we can have people jump off and attack them, but there is indeed a horde up ahead. So, going forward with what's going to happen as we are in the process of escaping, you guys see some zombies that, these are so low level, they realistically don't matter. They are the grubs of the grubs, very, very bottom tier. They're shambling throughout the town, not necessarily moving towards your group. Even with sound, they don't seem to move towards you. They seem to be entirely random. And in terms of their looks, they range anywhere from potentially nobility from long ago, potentially soldiers. We can see some people that are definitely from a more modern time, as they're not entirely skeleton and not totally rotted away. So it's not due to lack of eyes in which they roam randomly. Going forward, to escape this, we're basically going to do a series of checks, and each check is going to have a consequence if failed. There won't necessarily be initiative. A thing will happen. I will ask how you respond, and in turn, the three of you can do something. If you want assistance from one of the three that are with us, they can help. But in case something fails, they are also up to be damaged. They will also do their absolute best to assist in other ways. So with our group prepared, see a bunch of Zambos waiting at the exit. What do we do?
Are there any fast ones among the bunch?
From this distance, it is very difficult to tell, but these all look fairly dumb. They're all kind of just generally crowded up, bumping into each other, but waiting a moment, they don't seem to dissipate. It's almost as if they are drawn to this exact location, just kind of bumping into each other, shambling about.
I vote we just charge through.
Try to kill as many as we can while charging.
Yes.
So the cart doesn't explode.
Yes.
I mean, we're gonna have to watch out for the horses, you know.
Well,
Unless
I'm
you want to force Blossom to go first, I guess.
obviously Blossom's going first. I'm not as fast as a horse, am I?
No, definitely not.
No, she's close. Weirdly enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, don't horses technically get like a special ability that makes them faster if they like move straight lines or something?
Combat horses, she's about the same distance like baseline, but gallop does make my horse faster. It's just 2 actions.
Hey, Blossom, are you strong enough to carry me and pull the cart?
Probably. What are you suggesting?
Can I jump onto Blossom's back and slash zombie heads that way?
So you basically want to jump in and whack?
Yeah, as we run by.
I mean, how large of a crowd is this? Are you talking about like it's 5 of them, or is it like 50 of them?
It's like 15 or so.
Okay.
Not too many, but definitely enough to get in the way. And where this horse made of flesh, ramming it would be very dangerous in case one of them trips or something bad happens. That horse is, well, going to be kaput right before we even start
also
leaving.
still have a bottle of holy water that we can potentially use for that.
Up to you. Are we just doing a Vegas strike, or are we doing holy water?
I feel like we might want to save the holy water in case you run into something bigger.
Maybe, yeah.
Don't think it's a good idea, but like as we're charging, I could use burning hands on some of them in front of us.
I mean, sure, that works. I can help you out with some. It's oil, I guess.
Well, that is definitely an option.
It's only a 5 by 5 feet square, sadly, so.
realistically, Burning Hands is going to be much more efficient than Vega running in and slashing, even though that is cool. I would probably say separate these because it'd be difficult to do them at the same time, considering one's, fire. So if you want to do that, they seemed controlled. Bumping around.
So I can Burning Hands first?
Burn them.
Sure. So we'll go ahead and take that. Do you say you want to throw some oil at him? I'll make the roll slightly worse for the enemy if you want to do that.
I mean, sure, they're cheap.
Okay.
Realistically, I can throw a bunch of them at them if they need be. But
Alrighty, it is a reflex save, correct?
Burning Hands, yes.
Alrighty,
Just
so
cast it.
I did add it to your casting. Should be at the bottom. Basically, that's where your that and Scatter Spree, where your items are going to be. All right, so you whip out your wand, and you go to Burning Hands these fools. I'll go and roll.
Burning Wand.
Yeah, Burning Wand. I will roll. I'll do 3 reflex saves for the whole group. Well,
Right?
starting with a critical failure. Your save is 19.
Yeah.
Oh,
Roll
boy.
16 or higher.
do they have a crit effect?
Oh,
Well, I just rolled everything. 4, 17, 23.
nice.
Okay.
Was that reduced with my oil or?
Yes, so technically 3, 16, 22, but unfortunately one of them still is a critical success. The nice thing is, 2 of them are failures. One is a critical failure, which is going to balance out the normal failure, and I will go ahead and say, with that, as you all jump in, and you probably take lead after some oil is thrown, Kane, you're able to release the burning hands that exist in this wand. I guess that's super weird now that I'm thinking about it. Burning wands. And you completely scorch like 90% of them. One begins to kind of move about, and Vega, I'll let you come into play here. You won't need to roll as it's already kind of confused looking around, and you can dispatch it with your glaive as it's got some nice range to it.
Excellent.
And as your group moves forward, unfortunately, these lanes weren't necessarily made for 2 carts. We're trying to keep them close. We have the guards, at least while we're exiting. They're going to be outside the carts, just kind of watching, kind of jogging along, making sure nothing really gets too close. And we begin to hear some thudding and rumbling in the distance. And we're aware there's some relatively large lads, if you will, that are moving about. I mentioned that we can see them easily over various trees and buildings.
Oh, that's beginning to sound something worthy of holy water.
Yes.
We know
You know
one
what?
is
I'm going to put it in my belt.
rumbling along the way. You do indeed have time for that. And realistically, like I said, anything we do here, action economy, doesn't really matter. You just tell me the thing that you're doing, and we can mess with that. But as we're on the way over, you see one of the undead sitting on the roof in a very nonchalant way. It's looking directly at your group. And Sign has a crossbow held up to it. Molly is also prepared, not wanting to fire in case it's going to alert it, but also holding back because they notice its head is swiveling to follow you all. And it pauses as you all get close. Its mouth opens, and you hear a voice spill forth, saying, "Interlopers, who might you?" And the zombie kind of just falls back through the roof. Another one walks around the corner, entirely different. Same voice comes from its throat. "Be."
Oh, that's a neat track.
I don't like that at all.
I don't either. I think we should ignore it and keep moving.
As none of you answer, Molly puts a quick arrow through its head, snaps back, falls dead. Waiting a second, nothing seems to happen, so your group does indeed continue forward. Up ahead, though, you see another undead sitting on the roof, watching your group, and you can hear it cackling before you come up close to it, just almost like it's choking. But you can tell it's the same type of entity as it's watching your group pass.
All right, I'm going to shout this time. It's polite to introduce yourself first.
As you say that, Vega, where are you positioned precisely in this scenario?
In this convoy, I'm on my blossom in the front.
All right, perfect.
Oh,
And as you say that, one of the doors opens from a nearby home. A zombie shambles on out, moving relatively close to you, but not close enough to really touch you. It's looking directly towards you, though, Vega. and it says,
You sound familiar. Why do I recognize your voice?
Did we happen to ruin your experiment in the crypt?
Oh, dear God, please no. I'll go ahead and shout. Does the name Vega ring a bell?
the same raspy laugh leaves its lips as suddenly this one is loosened from where the spell is and shambles off to the right. And another sitting very with its elbow on its knee, fist on its chin, sitting on one of the crates just up ahead. It continues the laughter of the other one.
Well, isn't this convenient?
This one then also loses whatever glamour was over it. It slumps forward, and suddenly you begin to hear footsteps from the distance. You can tell they are closing in on your group, and looking between all the various buildings and such, you can see the horde is beginning to lock in on your location. They're not sprinting, but they are moving very quickly. Kane, as you did the last thing, Vega and Arbalest, what are we doing?
Well, I might want to pick up the pace.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up the pace.
All right, you shout for everyone to pick the pace up. Seeing as they are shortly upon us, probably a good idea. Your group then begins to speed up as you do. So do they. We know there's a very specific speed we need to stay at, or we'll lose the second cart entirely that Vega is on. We'll say like one villager's on this cart as well, and most of them are on the other one just because they know it's safer, so that they're trying to stay that way. And there's one villager's making sure to keep everything down with various ropes and such, just kind of push things where they are. But they're also trying to hide, so they're hanging back. You guys begin to pick up to whatever respectable speed we think works for us. But these things are stumbling over each other. They're ahead, they're behind, they are seemingly everywhere, and they're slowly closing in on us. We know that a first group is going to smash into our cart soon. How are we going to stop them?
Are they nearby me enough to trip them?
A lot of tripping.
Sure, go for it.
What am I rolling?
Are you jumping off Blossom to trip, or are you like meeting them, or are you staying on Blossom to get them right before they get to you?
Are there people in the cart that Blossom is pulling?
One person.
I still have this snare, but that's a 5x5, right? A snare?
I believe so, yes. So basically, yeah, essentially you can set it, chuck it realistically. You can use that however you'd like. I'll set all the people right here on the bottom. They're all in one cart. And realistically, your group are free to go wherever. Vega, I have you on top of Blossom unless you say otherwise.
I would like to stay on the horse if possible.
All right, go ahead and roll me trip.
Should have jumped off the horse.
Would you like to re-roll it?
Re-roll
That is a critical failure. For reference, that's very bad for you. Okay. Oh, something I was going to mention. Sorry, let me throw this out there. So, regarding re-rolls, I know some people house roll this because it just feels better. And for the most part, we're already very well aware of the meme of hero points. They usually just stay low. We roll a 4, we roll a 5 immediately after. Just to make sure it's not quite as shitty, when you right-click to re-roll with a hero point, I don't know if you can tell it to roll and keep the better result, and it uses the hero point. We can test it later. But going forward, I'd like to keep the better result from the hero point because it's called a freaking hero point. It would feel really bad to roll a 3 and then roll a critical failure because you are forced to keep the critical failure, and that sucks. So just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, with a 16, Vega, that's actually not enough for the horde. So that is indeed going to fail, and they're going to begin to move out. As you start tripping, you get like 1, you get 2, but you realize it's not enough. So basically what I'm going to do here is, depending on our degrees of failure or degrees of success, I'm going to basically roll a flat damage that you or someone else will take. I will let you know that 3 people helping, Sign, Malia, and Philip, they are near you, Vega, so they will move in and they will take some of this damage for you. Same thing will apply to Kane and Arbalest, unless you let me know your position is so weird they physically can't get to you. If you are so far out of the way that you cannot be harmed, aka on top of the cart or somewhere really weird like inside the cart, I will have the damage automatically go to someone else. And if you think it's going to go to, I'll let you know. If it's going to go to a civilian, you may jump in the way, but one of the NPCs may also jump in the way. So if you want to help someone and eat the hit for them, you are more than welcome to. Just let me know. But as your group is positioned where they are, you don't have anyone ranged. We'll say Malia moves over to you. And as they charge forward, she's trying to help you as you're tripping. They horde in and begin to surround, though. One jumps on her. She gets a scratch. She gets a bite. She gets some... They just leap onto her, and they grab onto her armor, her leathers, and she kind of shakes them off as you stab a couple in the head. Vega, and, with a few quick knocks of her bow, she takes the rest out, and that horde seems to be taken care of. She looks up to you, and she nods. And as we continue leaving here, more of these swarms are going to be running towards us. So, Arbalest, I will now ask you, as another horde begins to approach our group, what do you do?
Oh boy, are we in the woods at this point or still in the city?
We are still very much in this little town, this little hamlet, but we will be out relatively soon.
Right, is there space where I can effectively bind a rope or something?
Bind a rope as in... What are you trying to do exactly?
Make a low-hanging thing for them to trip over, I guess.
Yes,
They're zombies. They probably aren't smart enough to step over it, right?
Correct. We're moving pretty quick, though, because we're going at our max speed, so it'll be a little harder.
Have a grappling hook.
Yeah, how's that help? Oh, to shoot into a building and...
Yeah, I mean, I can shoot one of the sides and bind the other one or something, I don't know.
Okay, so you're going to shoot one, and then are you binding it, between two buildings?
I guess.
Okay. You can most definitely do that. That is a really... that's a really interesting roll.
Yeah, I mean...
Good luck.
I'm going to be... I think there's a roll for it anyway, so...
Honestly, because you're using the grappling hook, just roll me your attack. Because we're rolling to see how well you shoot the grappling hook, and then we'll just roll in the tying to that same action.
Yeah, not terrible.
All right, not terrible, but we'll say it succeeds, but not to the degree that we need it to. It's definitely going to slow some down, but not enough. And Arbalest has you... If you want to roll, you can. Let me know before I narrate the rest.
I mean, I have 3 hero points, might as well.
Okay.
Use it.
So go ahead and try the right-click reroll, keep higher result, and see if it actually eats one of your hero points.
It's a lot better, though.
That's a lot better.
It did not.
Did not. Okay, so go ahead and manually reduce that. All right, 27 is indeed a full success. We will not be taking any damage. You shout out your commands to the rest of the team, letting them know what you're trying to do. And initially, they're not really sure, but you're able to bark these orders relatively quickly. And Sign will nod as if she understands whatever you just said. She'll leap around one of the carts as you dash up ahead to get this ready, and as both carts quickly pass, you fire off. It sinks very firmly into one home, and she helps you tie the other side off after looking for an area that we know is stable enough. We don't want this to rip and fall over. And with this wonderful tripwire, the two of you begin to run on forward, and as you do, you turn about, and you see the horde that was following you from behind. They completely eat shit as they just roll over themselves, just one after the other. And regardless if this rope is there or not, there's now a pile of idiots just ramming into each other. They are now their own obstacle. Congratulations, you've taken care of not just one small horde, but pretty much all the ones that are following your group. And now, in terms of who is doing what, we're effectively at the top of the order. So any one of the 3 of you can do something. And then you can't take 2 actions in a row, so we'll have the other 2 do something after. Another large horde begins, from what you can see, flowing over one of these homes. You guys can see you're almost out as you pick up the pace just a little bit, and some of them fling themselves and begin to latch onto the side of the cart you guys brought in, and they're climbing along as Philip is, smashing them off, but there's so many, they're beginning to slow our cart down. What do we do?
Do we know how they're tracking us? Is it they're focused on us specifically, or?
You can most definitely tell they're focused on you guys, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't they can hear us or anything. It's more somehow they're being sent after us, I guess.
Sent or controlled, yes.
Yes.
It's definitely not hearing, because you walked by plenty that completely ignored you.
Is there anything we can do about that?
I mean, I have hydraulic push, but it's normally a single target thing.
Yeah, true.
As long as whatever action you do succeeds, we're good.
I guess I'll use hydraulic push to try to push some of them off.
Try knocking them off? All right, go for it. Is that an attack, or do I have to roll to save?
It is an attack, I think.
Roll it up.
Okay.
Would you like to buy a vowel?
Yes.
All right.
Much better.
Excellent. With a 21. Incredibly solid as you bound forward. You're not able to shoot all of them off, so we'll only take half damage from this. As Philip is trying to knock these things away, just one, and you jump up, Kane, and start blasting with water, smacking them off, and barely missing Philip. Fortunately, that would have been awful to knock him off the cart.
He can take it.
I mean, he did crit that horse, didn't he?
He crit 2 times, back to back.
Yeah, in a row.
That was insane. He nuked that dude. Yeah, he's definitely fine. So he's
bumps.
Yeah, he's only barely injured, and he looks up to you, Kane, as if to nod and say, thank you. And now up ahead, we can see the exit to the town is beginning to swarm up, very similar to the pile that we had behind us. This is our easy exit, but we can see them climbing and smashing into each other. And this is probably impossible to smash through, most likely. There's another exit we can take, but if we gun it and or do something, we can possibly make it out. It'll just be difficult.
Can I use my vantage point on top of this horse to find an alternative route?
You most definitely can. You know you'll be in the town for a little longer, but that's perfectly acceptable because not dying is great. So if you want to roll perception for that, Vega, you are more than welcome to.
Oh, no.
Everyone's perception's good. You don't throw no. No one has bad perception. Especially you. You put points into wisdom. All right, a 16 is not going to make it. If you'd like to re-roll that, you definitely can.
I had 1 hero point and I used it already.
All right. That is perfectly acceptable.
Can I help her?
+1 won't be enough to push it over, unfortunately.
Melee struggles.
Alrighty, Vega, seeing as you have 14 HP and this is 13 damage, someone's going to jump in the way to take this for you as you guys are moving about. You take a very quick turn. I will say this, Vega, on a side note, if you want, I'm not telling you to. We have plenty of people to take it for you.
I take the damage?
You can use a potion if you want, Vega, technically. Like I said, you don't. It's not an action.
How about I shove this person who's about to take the damage for me and then drink a potion?
I mean, if you want, I can take the damage for you. I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd rather Arbalest than a random NPC.
Vega shoves the other person away and puts me in front of her.
No, thank you.
You have armor, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And as we begin to move around, Vega, you are trying to get assistance from Blossom, and you're trying to coerce him to keep the same speed because he just kind of wants to get out of here and leave these folk. And you can hear the buzzing getting louder and louder, not just coming from Blossom, but from coming all around your guys' location. And you think left is a good idea, so both carts almost screeching away as you guys have to take a very hard left. You quickly shout this out, and everyone listens to you. We turn, and while this location looks fine for a moment, we think we'll be here for just a heartbeat longer. Unfortunately, that is not the case, as we see groups running towards us. These ones are indeed sprinting. You can hear them shouting profanities at you. They're screaming, "Take me back." And you're just a bunch of nonsense. Some of it sounds backwards. It's almost incomprehensible. But as they leap out towards you to stop Blossom and this cart, Arbalest, you're able to kind of move in the way. And you and Flint are able to take out exactly as many as we need to continue forward. A couple are smashed and crushed by both our horses and Blossom. And as we continue forward, we see up ahead is another entrance, and this one is not crowded by zombies, but they are indeed beginning to gather up. And as they do, you can see these aren't the incredibly dumb ones that are just smashing into each other. These ones have weapons, very similar to the ones that you fought before in the armor. They are indeed armed, swords, spears, axes, and they are charging for you. Battle cries ring in the air. Arbalest.
Is it holy water time yet?
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, that's up to you.
Sounds like a yes to me. Get them nice and grouped up and then I'll just throw it at them.
All right, perfect. So it's just a standard, simple thrown weapon. So I think for you that's a +9, I think?
It also does splash damage, so it's
Yes.
1 and then
It's going to hit
all the squares around it, yeah.
Yep, it's gonna definitely hit the screw. So I think, I don't know if you have somewhere on your character sheet, you can just click a simple weapon attack, but that's really all it is. So I think that's a +9.
I think I can, if I do this.
Oh, cool. How'd you do that?
I just equipped it.
Oh, it
It's
works?
added to my strikes.
Wait,
yeah.
you can do that?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
The roll is kind of bad though, so I might re-roll that.
Oh, that's horrible. 12's awful. You can equip holy water, though?
No, you say it's horrible, but here's the thing. It is a splash weapon, so the damage is going to be applied anyway, and since it's good damage, they might still get damaged because they're weakness, probably.
Indeed. But it's still 12.
Fair, fine.
So I will say, that's not a
Fine,
critical
have your
failure.
point.
Well, wait. It's not a critical failure. It's a regular failure. So someone will take damage. You will take care of the issue. It will be taken care of, but someone will be hurt from this.
No, I'll just re-roll it.
Okay. 24 is much better. Excellent. All right, that is a full success. We're only taking half. This group is up front. Philip's on the back cart. I think it's assigned somewhere in the middle. So I think Molly is going to take this one because she's up front. Alrighty. You huck this, and initially we're not sure if it's going to strike, but one of them, in its absolute buffoonery, runs up to the front, swinging its blade just before it should, shattering our holy water, causing it to splash backwards, striking this one in the face. It screams out. You can hear it searing and burning from a distance. It strikes the other two. They also scream, and pausing for a moment, Molly is able to move in, begin to take them out. Vega, you're also able to do the same, but one of them isn't as harmed as we thought it was. It quickly lashes out to Malia. She just barely dodges as she jumps back, and it grazes up against her arm. Sign takes out the other. We all nod to each other. We can see the exit. There are very few zombies there, and our group begins to press forward and press forward and press forward. But then that large lumbering begins to finally catch up with us, and we see a very large, nasty individual that is 100% waiting at the exit, looking down your group with a small little entourage of Zambos.
Do I have time to say a quick prayer?
Most definitely.
I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but I would like to hold this pendant and make a very fervent wish for some help, please.
All right, what are you trying to accomplish with this?
She's trying to influence the DM.
Trying to what?
Influence the DM.
Are you praying to me?
Yeah, obviously.
No, I'm praying to my goddess.
Which is Yeti.
We just need to run by them, right?
Yes.
Can I pray to literally put the fear of God in them for just enough time for us to run by?
All right, so I will say this. You can definitely do that, but I'm going to have you roll Intimidate because you're going to put the fear of God in them, right?
Yeah, I mean, that fits me, so yes.
Yes, I standard praying, I say roll religion or something or whatnot, but that's going to fail. I can guarantee it. Your religion's like a +2. So, to stay in the flavor of what we're doing here, yes, you can most definitely, assuredly do that. We'll say they'll be paused and stunned for long enough that you can get done what you need to get done. So go ahead and roll your intimidation. As you begin to loudly pray. Oh my god, yes, okay.
She prays very loudly, apparently.
You pray very hard. Do you say anything in particular, Vega?
I'm not sure.
You don't have to.
No, I have no idea what I would say in this case.
All right, just thoughts and prayers. You're just going nuts, Vega. And as you're shouting for a moment, you don't think it's going to work? So you get louder, and Blossom begins to chant whatever the hell you're chanting with you. You see the big lumbering doofus begin to charge, its weapon held high, and you finally hit a high note to match the height of its weapon as it swings down, and it pauses for a moment, as do the underlings beside it, to its left, to its right. This gives you enough time to both knock it off balance, and both carts are able to shoot by, crushing various Zamboids and stuff that are off in this general direction. The big one, though, is not quite as stunned as the others, and it quickly turns on its heel and begins to sprint after your group at maximum speed. We're finally free of the town. We can see more and more, way off into the distance. We think we can see a horde. Best not to focus on that. There are still some following us by this point. So this is going to culminate in 2 more rolls, one from Arbalest, one from Kane, and then one final roll in which you guys can help or do something all together, whatever the last best action is. So with the group still coming hard, this big nasty boy charging your group, you think you see another one in the distance. Kane and Arbalest, what are we doing?
Oh, I'm just shooting at this point.
Just going nuts?
Yeah.
Roll it up.
For effect, he is my hunted prey.
Get it done. Nice. All right. A 23 is most assuredly enough. By this point, these beings, these ones near the exit, they seem to be smarter. They're throwing javelins at you and just hunks of metal, smaller hatchets, things of that nature. And while on a whole, they are indeed missing, Arbalest, you're able to catch most of these beasts. Right as they pull their arm back, you sink an arrow right between their eyes and they fall to the floor, dead. But more and more continue to fly. And as this is random, I will roll between the 3 of them, or who are going to get hit. That's only half damage. Roll a Reno. All right, unfortunately, that's Malia.
If it's Malia again, I'm going to intercept it. Fuck that.
You're going to try to intercept that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She keeps getting hit. That's sad.
She does, yes.
Getting bonked all the time.
Getting bonked all the time. Alrighty, you see this. Maybe there's a few more coming than you're expecting, Arbalest. And while you don't necessarily shove Malia out of the way, you try to snipe one out of the air, and you're unable to do so. You can tell she's focusing potentially to save you, and seeing that she's definitely 100% misjudged this Arbalest. You are an expert in these matters, after all. You get in the way instead before she can unleash her arrow. And though it does smash against your shoulder plate, you're not grievously wounded, but more come. Malia looks to you, Arbalest, and nods. And Kane, with the horde fast approaching, this big son of a bitch right on your guys' heels, what do you do?
I can use Scatter Scree just to make rough terrain, I guess. Slow him down a bit.
Sure. Does that involve
That definitely helps.
Does that involve a save or an attack?
Reflex save. It stays rough terrain no matter what.
Okay, in that case, you can just cast it at the ground, right? Turn it into
Yeah.
rough terrain for them, yeah.
10-foot line, so I'd have to recast it, but I don't know if I have time to recast it for anything.
We got time with our first shot. All right, so I'll roll against it. Alrighty, a 16 is indeed a failure. That puts us in the window of a normal success. So whatever damage we take here will be halved. Nice, I rolled low. Only 10, so it's only 5 damage for somebody.
If it's Malia again, I'm gonna get pissed, by the way.
I'll just take it.
Let's
Well,
see.
assuming I can.
Let's see what the die says. Okay, the die's being mean today. You want to take a cancel only 5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, as you begin to pull the earth up from the source, it's 100% interrupting them. They seem so focused on downing your group and taking down this caravan. You're hearing shouting from Philip and Sign and Malia. They're some of them are jumped on the side of a horse or on the side of the caravan. They're just unleashing arrows. Philip's throwing whatever rocks he has left, and he's staying by the close side of both of these caravans, just kind of hanging on and stabbing any that get close. And the rocks are slowing them down plenty. But you can tell, once again, Malia is not necessarily panicking. It's just there's a lot on this front one with Blossom, and she's doing her absolute best. But you see a smaller group that seems undeterred. Maybe they jumped over ones that have already tripped over your rocky ground, and they begin to move in towards her. With your keen eyes, Kane, you're able to float on down, jump in the way, and distract them for long enough that they pull their eyes off of Malia, unfortunately onto you, but you're able to dodge most of their blows. You do take a strike from a non-bladed part of the weapon, which is definitely sore, but not awful. And then now moving to this final portion. It seems more and more of them are jumping on the side of our cart. We're having to speed up more and more and more.
Now Kane can in vivid detail describe what he's going to do.
Okay, so
Okay.
last thing we're doing here, Vega, the three of you are going to do basically one combined. So you're all rolling individually, but it's one combined action. We'll basically take the average. And Kane already has an idea what he wants to do, which is
Gonna go to the other cart, and then off of one of the sides where the zombies are grabbing onto it, I'm going to just throw up a bunch of bugs and rats and scorpions and stuff like that all over them.
Ooh, I like that.
Do you though?
I do actually. I really like that mental image. Absolutely terrifying.
The first time anyone's ever seen me use this spell.
Oh god.
Perfectly gross.
Arbalest is just gonna act like he didn't just see that.
It's fine. I mean, I take out my guts all the time.
this is true.
Magicians, I swear.
It's probably worse, if anything. All right, we are going to resolve all three of these. I need to roll a 19. This is basically for the group. Alrighty, 22. So all these are going to happen all at once. Kane jumps to the front cart, begins to puke bugs and shit at the enemy. Arbalest, Vega, what are you two doing?
Wait, are we surrounded?
You're beginning to become surrounded, correct? This is basically the final push. You're being surrounded. You're getting stabbed at by various individuals, and the big one is getting ready to swing its final burst, its final attack at you. They're starting to hang on to the side of the cart.
How big's the big one?
The big one is just past 10 feet, I would say, and charging at your group. You can see in the distance there's a taller one, but he ain't going to catch up.
What's the biggest threat right now?
The biggest threat right now, what do you play, Monster of the Week? The biggest threat right now is two, both the Horde. There's a lot of them. They can pick off the civilians much easier, but this big guy could be a threat to one of the heroes. So your group or the NPCs that have followed.
I mean, I'm just gonna take down the big one before it can get here, I guess.
Yeah, can I do a
Is that a crit? I hope it is crit.
Yeah, 29. That's good.
Alright.
That's good stuff.
Do we need to roll damage or is it dead?
No, so we're just rolling for general potency, basically.
Okay, yeah. I'm basically trying to take down the big one.
Yeah, if you're rolling for damage, you'd be here a while. You don't want to roll for damage. You take like...
I'm going to anyway because it's fun.
Oh, you definitely go for it.
I got 26 damage.
I ain't gonna stop you. What was your question, Vega?
Can I just kick the nearby ones away or stab them with my long blade?
You most definitely can. If you want to just go for straight attacks, Arbalest just did. He critically succeeded. You want to as well, Vega?
Have you used your magical weapon thingy yet?
No.
That might add some effect for the roll.
It gives you a +1, I believe.
Actually, I think in that case, raging would probably be better. Can I rage and stab?
You may rage and stab, yes.
What do you want me to roll for that?
You're attacking, right?
Just a general +10, the usual?
Just roll your weapon. Alrighty. So, oh boy. The damage, less exciting. It's alright.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Weakness bonus.
Yeah. So, we have a multitude of things going on here. Alright, so the first one is a failure, so we will resolve that first.
I swear if it's Malia again.
Alrighty. So, we obviously know that my brain isn't working. What are these people called? The villagers, the townsfolk. My brain couldn't summon townsfolk. Okay.
Words are hard.
Oh my god, are incredibly weak. Any one of these attacks is going to damage them. And by damage, I mean murder them. So, we see as they are grouping up onto the cart, one grabs onto a villager's arm, the other grabs onto their leg. There are two of them that are in danger of being yoinked out of here. We have 2 attacks that will need to be eaten, basically.
I'll eat one.
No, you will die.
Yeah.
I will eat one.
Actually, technically, if you did rage, you have a temp HP, right? 3?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Are you sure you want to eat one? Are you demoralizing me? Why'd you roll that?
Hang on, I rolled the wrong thing.
You have 18.
Well, that means I have 18. Yeah, I'll take one.
Temporary HP equal to your level plus your constitution modifier.
The sign will take the first one. She has not been hit just yet, so she's technically fine. And Vega, you will take the second, which hurts. You have 3 health left. Congratulations. As they begin to rip the villagers out, Sign swings herself around, arrow through the head, grabs one that's back, begins to yank on it as one gets a real firm bite in her arm, and she wriggles that one off too, short sword in its neck, flings it off. The villager nods in appreciation, and same goes for you as well, Vega. You rage, and as one is grabbing at this villager's legs and slowly pulling them out of the cart, you flip off of Blossom, quickly go across the top side of this cart, and you just stick this thing in the face, and its head completely comes off. It is still...
Yes! I do one of those flying leaps.
Hell yeah, it is still attempting to pull at this villager, so as you land, you mixed up also with a kick to its chest while holding the villager back, and it goes flying off and thump, 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 smashes into another group of zombies, and they scatter like bowling balls as you look as if to say, holy shit, thank you. The next one is going to be a critical success, so it's going to be very minimal damage. Only half this. So 6. All right, we need 2. We need 2 people to take 6 damage. So we can have Philip can definitely jump in. He's got plenty of health. Or Kane if you want. It's only 6.
Sure, why not?
All right. Alrighty, and this last one was a regular success, Vega, with you doing your business. So Arbalest, you see this big nasty son of a bitch. And as he's going to swing down at your group, Flint is able to distract him enough that you can sink arrows one after the other into key points of this thing's body. You strike it in the knee, it slows down a bit, it goes to swing again. Flint bothering that exact same knee, it goes to swing at Flint. Flint dives out of the way, and you fire again, and by this point, the creature is much further than it has any chance of striking your group, and it doesn't seem to give up. It just keeps going. Flint sticks his tongue out and just whips back around and flies back to our group, quick as a whip as he is. And with that resolved, we have the final bit of damage. It was a standard success, so it'll be half damage. With 46, wow, I rolled horribly on this one. Nice. All right, it's only 13. With this final bit here, they slowly grow closer and closer And as they begin to lash out, we have 2 in this front cart, we have 2 on the back cart. One of them gets too close to Molly as she begins to knock it back. Another one in that same cart is bothering your villager, once again, unfortunately, Vega. Sign is battling another, and another has grabbed a villager from the back. So we have 2 and 2.
I mean, I'll obviously use my long reach to smack something.
Realistically, considering this is only half, everyone can be struck as they are, and no one will actually go down. Not that I can see, at least. Yep, so you don't even need to protect Molly or Sign. So they're all safe. As this happens, Vega, you're able to, I'll say, pry one of the undead off that same villager that was, getting wrecked. Molly will just knock this one back by herself. She's very clearly winded, but not out. On in the back, Sign will also be struck, but she's able to take care of hers. Philip will jump in, and he's actually doing pretty good. He's relatively healthy. He will sever the head of one, stick another in the gut, and then with its general force, swing its body around and around and throw it off the cart as well. By this point, there are no more on the carts. We've thrown enough off, and one of them actually kept an empty crate just in case for a situation such as this. They huck that off, and it goes flying back, crashing into another group. And by this point, we look forward. There are a few undead shambling in the distance, but at this speed, there's no chance for them to catch us at all. Unfortunately, our group continues forward and forward and forward. Malia, arrows pulled, Sign, same. Kane at the ready, Arbalest at the ready. Philip has rocks. Vega's got rocks. Blossom's charging. After a few minutes, we find more rocks. We seem to be in the clear. And all of a sudden, as we turn back, the horde that was following us almost stop in unison. At least you think they do. They cease chasing your group and seemingly fade off into the horizon as we head back to Stone Crab.
Yeah, there's something important about that village.
Fine, we don't need to go back.
It's also probably for the best if we don't take Blossom inside. Because then
Yeah.
that guy can see through his dead, and he might be able to see through Blossom.
That is a very good point.
So on the note of Blossom, where are we parking Blossom as we head back to Stone Crab?
I mean, we definitely aren't riding him into town.
What do you mean? Why not?
No,
Could you imagine?
I probably am going to ride him into town just to drop the cart off, and then I'll take him out to the outskirts.
I mean, I would say, keep him outside of the gate, at least. We can have different horses put them inside, that's fine. In fact, I think technically we came with horses, so...
It's up to you, I don't care.
Alrighty, seeing as, you're gonna freak some people out if you bring a corpse horse into the town, especially here. You bring it up to the gate. This time the drawbridge is not down. Sorry, not up. It is indeed down. The gates are still closed. You're able to park our new friend off to the side, and having entirely untied him, he looks at you, Vega, and crew, then back to Vega, and it says,
Well, am I to reside here for now?
Yeah, for now.
And you shall return. We will complete our mission.
Yes.
Sure. After we discuss this with Ferris, but yeah.
Good. Do not leave me waiting, or I shall complete the mission without you, Vega.
Wait, what mission is he talking about?
Finding your gods.
I really don't recommend you going by your lonesome guy.
I am more devoted than you could possibly imagine.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Well, if you leave, good luck.
Thank you, good sir. I appreciate it.
and the horse bows to you, Kane.
All right, wasn't expecting that. I was kind of sarcastic.
My goddess is good. My goddess is great.
Everyone's watching this general handoff, kind of ready to strike the thing down. They're not really sure what's going on. This happened very quickly, but you seem to be on some sort of positive wavelength with this thing, Vega. So, sure. The horse just trots a little into the forest as not to be seen by the residents of Stone Crab. And after hailing the individuals at the front, they open the gates. They let your group in. And the rest of the group, the villagers, they seem happy to be alive, but definitely a little downtrodden. They're looking to each other and discussing what have you. Everyone in your group seems to have indeed survived. They're doing much better. And as your group pulls on up and begins to unload, Ferris walks up to your group and, giving you away from distance, he heads on up and just starts kind of checking everything out, seeing what you guys brought. Seems very surprised at the second cart. Was not expecting that.
Was there anything interesting in that cart, by the way? After we escaped from the horde?
More materials, essentially. Stuff for building, stuff, food in general, which is exactly what they needed. A good amount of it, too. You guys got more in the main cart, of course. But if this stuff holds as well as we think it will, it'll restock any various healing and potions like that they have on them. And food for people. Plus wood. We always need that.
Well, that's good.
He checks your group out, seems very happy at everything, and then turning to you all, he can tell that you're all relatively hurt, winded, but everyone's in one piece. Everyone who was meant to make it did indeed do so. And looking over everybody, says, well then, all right. Seems you all made it back. Seemingly in one piece. Shall we save the report for later, or we in the minds and spirits to do it now?
We can talk then.
You all made fairly good time. These carts have definitely seen better days, but I'm of course here to discuss your payment. You brought back a second one too. Was this just abandoned there in Barrel?
Yeah, it was the carriage from the previous failed trip.
Wow, shit, lucky. How'd you bring it back? You only had 2 horses with you, right?
We've had another one.
About that.
Sorry, you found it.
Did we talk to him about bringing back like a smart zombie, or was that with the other people upstairs? I can't remember now.
Oh, you mean
included.
it was probably him. Where I was talking about capturing a zombie.
You did mention that, yes.
Yes, but I'm not sure if we mentioned it to him specifically.
I want to say we did. He was the one who gave us his mission, right?
Yeah, but I thought it was like, I don't know, idle chatter over on the wall or something.
Also that.
No, I think it was this guy.
It's fine. Either way, we gotta tell him anyway.
Mission completed. I found a smart zombie.
Right.
Shaped like a horse.
Shaped like a horse. Sounds like it.
Skeleton.
It was more of a skeleton, actually.
Fair enough. Yeah, what? He's recruited to our side now. Hey, can you trust him?
Probably not. That's why he's outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's obedient to my goddess, so that's a positive.
All right. Are we going to pry him for information later, or what are we doing exactly?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to pry him for information. There was something sus there.
Definitely.
There's
You
nothing
know,
wrong.
by the way, that the zombies are being patrolled by someone, apparently, right?
I've had my suspicions, but I'm not entirely sure, unfortunately.
Well, consider your suspicions word.
Confirmed?
Yes.
Did you run into some sort of necromancy or something?
Well, someone was definitely talking to us through them.
And he knew my voice.
Oh, well, you know this individual. That's convenient. Not a friend, I assume.
Hell no.
Most assuredly an enemy from the past, then. Someone you pissed off.
Hard to
the
say.
only option I know is, back in the church. Unless you have more enemies with undead.
I want to say it's probably the church, but I don't know.
Well,
Surely it can't be the returned son of the Licorice family. Wait, Licorice, right? Or is it the other ones?
No way.
for the son, that would have been the Hainsleys.
And the Hainsleys, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
If you guys mention that, Philip gives you a weird look as if to say, I hope not, and Ferris just shrugs as if to say,
No,
I have
don't
no
mention
idea.
that because Marvelous doesn't know about that.
Oh yeah, good point. Vega definitely would have probably not shared that information, and
Absolutely not.
no real reason to. It makes sense. And as we're sharing all this, Ferris has brought you all, or is beginning to bring you all to the same drinking circle as we did last time, and as we head into the Liquid Truth. The villagers that have moved with and helped, they definitely seem a little down. Stein, Philip, and Malia also seem a little out of it. As Ferris is getting the rundown from your group, you're all kind of following in tow. And behind, as we're doing this, suddenly Lavi pops up around the corner. And she already has one of her instruments ready, primed for combat. Pulling it up, she, right in front of Ferris, just goes, "Oh!" And he points to her and goes, "Lavi, no, not now." And she's looking over to the group that seems kind of down. And she says, But I've got music. I've got good music for them to."
Is Lavi the one from outside?
Yes.
Oh,
Who let her inside?
wow.
She was not drinking alcohol, but drinking something and having some finger foods near the door. And the second Ferris came in, she looked like she was waiting, just instantly puts the food down, like charges over with her instrument. She's not even holding it right.
Precious.
And she looks over to your group and says, well, maybe when things are better, I owe you a song. Something nice to raise the spirits.
Sure, sounds good.
Wonderful. I shall be around. And she smiles, bows, and heads off. Ferris rolls his eyes, looking to the group, not you all. He offers a quick bow and says, my apologies. She means well. Now's not the time for music. I'll make it up to you all. We'll have a discussion. You mentioned someone didn't make it, right?
Yeah.
Damn shame. And they speak up as well. He nods and says, Vasol. Shit. Well, not much we can really do about that. It happens. Only one casualty, though.
That's right.
Yeah, we're definitely lucky getting out there.
Yeah, his lips are tight. He doesn't respond, but he nods, is thinking to himself as if to say, all right, well, not much you can do. Your room is available to you, of course. You got time to rest. You all look beat to shit, so please do so. If you're feeling up to it, all the goods that you acquired will need to be handed out. Of course, we got some folk that need to help, but there's always work to be done. Dinner that needs to be handed out, cooked, cleaning, all the usual. I'll try to keep your old business to what's your best at, but if you'd like to help with the more mundanities, just let me know. There's always a spot for you.
All right, thanks.
And after he shows you all to your rooms on the second floor, gives you a quick bow, sighs to himself, and he heads downstairs back to the pub. The group of Malia, Philip, and Sign look to you guys, and they effectively just say, "Yeah, we're poop, dude. We're gonna go rest. Definitely gonna just instantly hit the bed." So.
Oh no, I totally get it. I nearly died.
Yeah, take it easy. Alrighty, and in this, I doubt you guys want to do anything in particular. So we'll of course have our usual rest, and we got home not super late. Of course, we left knowing that we'd be coming back with the assistance of the sun. It's foolish to go out when it's dark, of course. So now that we've had our rest, you guys can all increase your HP to full. And if there's anything you guys want to do tonight, let me know. Otherwise, you can also hit the long rest button, get all your spell slots, get all your focus points back, all that good shit. Would be cool if there's a refocus button specifically. I'm sure there is, I just haven't found it yet. There are so many macros. Yeah, there's so many macros built in, I just don't know where they all are. I don't think it's on the character sheet. Now that we all returned, for staying with everyone and doing a fantastic job, of course, Ferris will have payment for you all. Everyone go and add a hero point on top of everything we've done.
Now I need to roll if I stop dying.
Indeed. And you can roll that from the little drop down, so go ahead and do that for me.
Or you could continue dying, it's fine.
Yes, yeah.
Can I get some help with not dying? Because I am very much at a disadvantage right now.
Can I help you not die? Assuming it's just medicine?
It is medicine, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try to help you not die. I
Oh,
failed.
that's not going to help me.
Here, I will try again to help you not die.
I don't think you can.
Alright,
It's an 8-hour thing.
Can I
was
also
gonna
help?
reroll is what I mean.
Sure. Can you roll an 18?
You might roll a crit, Vega. You can always try. All right, you get a
It's
plus
an
1.
18.
Nice.
Isn't it +2?
Oh, is it a +2? Yeah, sure.
I think it's a +4 and a crit, so +2, right?
You are correct, yes. All right, so go ahead and roll that save, my friend. +2.
Now, here's the thing. I can technically drink a life elixir and get another +1.
You want to?
Might as well be cheap, but at the same time, I can probably buy an actual anti-plague for the same gold, but...
Totally up to you. If you want to, you can subtract the gold. They definitely have it, as you guys recently restocked, and you can give yourself another +1, so +3.
Yeah, I'll buy an anti-plague. I think an anti-plague is also a +2, actually.
Hey, we got it.
Oh, thank God.
All right. We no longer have to deal with Zambo rot. I can remove the note. Alrighty.
God, that would have been a failure without both of the help, the aid, and the plague.
Indeed, which would have not been great. Regardless, you are feeling much better, Arbalist.
I subtract the gold real quick.
Yep, you can go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and max out your HP, because you will be hunky-dory now. Fortunately. And on top of that, you're all feeling very well rested. In fact, we're feeling so well rested that I do indeed think we're going to get some experience. 330 of it, to be precise, which you guys were so close to leveling. Yes, it's a pretty fair amount of experience for saving people. for staying as long as you did, getting back the cart, doing well on the escape, and of course the combat. So all those things we're now going to move into it is nighttime, aka the long rest. And we're going to wake up smarter, better, faster, stronger, all those good things. You know from Ferris, he let your group know that in terms of what you are to do here to help in Stone Crab, is there'll be a few more days of downtime. It's just going to be helping, a lot of helping, watching the wall. It is 24/7 here. We work hard, but we make sure we also play hard, doing everything we possibly can. Arbalist, you are going to get, eventually, during this little bit of downtime, a missive from the initial person, the physician that assisted you with your first disease check. There are, I guess, some questions they have for you after your checkup, when you have time, of course.
Some questions for me. Oh no, this is terrifying. I mean, sure, I'll go to them, I guess.
Perfect. And by this point, we're all indeed going to level. So I know, Arbalist, you're ready. So this will take a second. Of course, we can discuss what we do and don't want to add for this next level. I'm going to mostly leave this part unedited. We're just going to kind of, go through it and take some time to make sure everything is where we need it to be. But who would like to go first? All right, we'll go with probably Arbalist.
I'm still making stuff.
So, okay, perfectly fine. If you have any general questions you
I'm
want
just
to...
adding stuff to my thing, so yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, what are we doing?
We're leveling, but we're going to do it one at a time. So we'll do Arbalist first. We're leveling inside the system.
I have been leveled.
So reduce your experience by 1,000.
I did.
Please don't mess up and lose that extra bonus. Don't hit 0. Of course, at level 4, it should automatically scale you up. And same thing with your boy, Doggo. You'll just get better being level 4.
He's also going to change. He's now actually, where do I change that?
It's under the feats. You're making a mature boy?
Yes.
All right, so that's a feat you need to take, right?
I think so. What, do I have to give it to him? Or?
Correct. It's going to be on him specifically. So which feat is that? That's one of your
I think
archetype
it's just
feats,
called
right?
Mature Companion, I believe.
Okay.
Let's see.
Mature Beastmaster Companion. Your boy is now mature.
Is he?
I've given
Not
him
a small
the...
dog anymore.
That took a while. Something was loading, I guess.
Yeah, it takes a second sometimes. You go ahead and just focus on your dude and you should be fine.
And for my class feature, there's only one real option I can take. Running reload. So I can actually, move on my turn.
Excellent. Yeah, level 4, you get a ranger feat, skill feat, and then we have our extra free archetype feat. All right, running reload is you can reload your weapon on the move. You stride, step, or sneak, then you can interact to reload. Oh! Suddenly, mobility.
Suddenly, my class is not crippled in action economy.
I know, right?
Was there anything more at level 4? Yes, there is. There's one more thing. My skill feat, which I'm keeping a secret for now.
There we go. I forgot the animal companion feats are in a different compendium.
Oh, okay. It makes...
Yep, so now he's beefier. Oh, see, the nice thing is, Waifu already did this on one of her test characters. So now, he swings with 1d8 piercing, mature animal companion, plus 1d8, strength plus 3, precision plus 1d8 if he has the precision selected. So, it tells you where the extra comes from, which is really nice. I absolutely love that. And then the attack, all right, extra plus 1 to his hit, just plus 10. Pretty good.
And that's everything for him, yeah.
All right, you're grabbing Tattoo Artist for your skill feat.
Oh, don't just say it.
I think y'all can see each other's characters. You should be able to now, at least.
I don't think so. Wait,
can
we now? We can.
Yeah, you should be able to, because it lets you pass items easier.
No, okay.
You shouldn't be able to see the biography, and if you can, just don't look at it. That should still be a secret, though.
I mean, I can see it, I just can't read it.
Indeed. So, regarding that Arbalist, the physician had multiple questions for you. First and foremost, are you feeling better? And secondly, no offense, but there's something weird about your body.
Oh.
In what way?
That's the problem. He's not sure.
Well, this is the first I'm hearing of that. What exactly are we talking about? Weird.
They point to your tattoos.
I mean, tattoos, that's not too weird, right?
Not precisely too weird, but I've never seen those before. When I was tending to your wounds, there was... Complications makes it sound bad. Makes it sound like you're dying or something like that. That isn't the case, of course. But your general physiology and those there's something about them. I went to look it up to see if they were a marking for something, or I've never seen them before. I'm not well traveled, but in terms of medicine, I'd like to consider myself fairly competent. After messing with, testing parts of your body and running some post tests, hoping to assist you getting past your sickness better, which you have. Fantastic. But it was also affecting you differently, or at least differently from other individuals, almost as if a part of your body was maybe suppressing it. You were still damaged in this unfortunate way. Your body was still sick, but I guess it wasn't... You seemed fine. Does that make any sense? Like you were mentally suppressing it almost, but unwillingly, unconsciously, yeah?
I mean, I always had the feeling that I was never one for sickness, honestly. I mean, aside from my amnesia, I don't have any, memories, I guess, of ever being sick.
Right, and that as well, it's... there's definitely something going on in there. I'm not precisely sure, what I'm looking at. I don't want to call you an anomaly or anything, but I don't think I need to tell you. I see hundreds of people in this location alone, and you threw me for a loop. You're the only person that has. I'm not going to ask to, cut into you, but if you don't mind us maybe running some tests, I might need to do some things that are slightly invasive, if you have time, of course. Strong question, I know.
I mean, considering the current situation, kind of, yes.
Yeah, I want to make sure you're fine, that you're not sick. These tattoos aren't affecting you in some negative way. They could be maybe the core of your amnesia or something along those lines. I just want to make sure you are you're all in one piece. I know you had this sickness, and if it affects your body in a different way, maybe it's still stirring around in your system, and we just don't see it. And one day it'll just bite you in the ass. We can't have you turning in the middle of our bar and killing people.
As far as the tattoos go, supposedly, my people, I recently learned, actually, that I'm apparently Eladirian. I'm not sure if you're aware of those people.
Slowly.
All of them have tattoos like this, but I don't think it's something bad, specifically. But sure, you are the health expert here.
He's thinking very heavily, looking kind of past you to say, how old are you? Hold up. Are you sure about your lineage precisely? That would make you quite up in your years. You don't look very old to me.
Not the first time I've heard that, actually.
Well,
no. I mean, from my understanding, I have been returned to this world, so if you want to know my age, I have no idea.
Another nod, less that he doesn't believe you, and more that you're slowly becoming more and more interesting.
I know, it's a lot taken.
Yeah, a little. You're very nonchalant.
It was quite a lot for me as well, but, you get used to it. I don't feel any different, so...
I would imagine so. I'm glad you're taking this sudden revelation whenever you received it in stride. I guess you can't weep about it every day. But yes, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind running some tests on you. I have my associate running the front end today, so I'm free.
Well, as long as they aren't too invasive and I don't know, leave here a cripple, I guess.
Oh, it won't be that bad. You will be awake for the entirety of the session. If anything hurts too bad, just tell me and I'll stop. Don't worry, but you seem like a big tough guy. I think you'll be fine.
Sure.
I won't be removing any limbs if that's what you're worried about.
God, I hope not.
And he kind of grabs at a blade and he holds it up, and his hand is shaking like crazy as he's looking. He says, all right, just hold your arm out there for me.
Right on our left one.
And he sighs and laughs to himself. His hand stops shaking. He puts it down. He says, that joke normally gets people. All right, I'll catch you later. Don't worry. First and foremost, I'm going to have you drink a few things. We're going to take a little bit of blood, and I'll get a little closer look at those tattoos. I'll try not to damage them, as if your lineage is, as you say, you might be one of the only Elidirians still walking around. So, yeah. Also, maybe don't share that information with regular folk. I won't hold anything against you, but personally, some people might have been affected, definitely were affected by the war, and I'm sure you're aware that a lot of idiots attribute it to you and your people. But not just that, there are some physicians, I hesitate to call them that, but well, they wouldn't think twice upon cutting you open and seeing exactly what makes you tick, yeah?
Huh. I wasn't aware that my people were such a interesting case. Oh, well, I'll take that information in stride, I guess.
There are rumors about your people, specifically in the medical world. There are also crazies out there.
I wouldn't know about that, so I'll keep it on an ear out, I guess.
Perfect. He gives you a wink and basically says, just be careful. And with that, he's going to essentially start looking into you and your general physiology over the day, Arbalist. And we'll quickly cut over to either Kane or Vega, whichever one of you is ready.
I'm ready in theory, just not with spells.
There are a lot to look through.
Also, we're fighting a lot of undead, and everything's mental. I swear, everything is mental.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is very true.
It's an issue.
But fortunately, don't take that into account because we're going to be globetrotting in this campaign. You guys noticed for now, but you did notice that when Vega went to scare some of them, they did not have the immune to mental. None of them did.
Oh, true.
Yeah. These ones seem special for whatever reason. You don't need to worry about that when choosing a spell. In terms of feats, though, do you know which ones you're going for?
For my skill feat, I took Arcane Sense, which is basically just free detect magic, whatever.
Oh, you're still level 4. Okay, you still have a 3. Shit, no wonder.
Oh, I didn't update it.
Oop, there we go. I'm like, why don't I see it? Okay, you haven't updated Boundary yet?
No.
Okay, I was like, am I blind? Where is it? One of the really fun things about switching over to Pathfinder is there's 245 billion feats. So it's really fun when you guys pull some of these up and I go, ooh, what's that one do? Your study of the magic allows you to instinctively sense its presence. You can cast a first level detect magic at will as an arcane innate spell. If you're a master in Arcana, the spell is heightened to 3rd level. If you're legendary, 4th level. Awesome. Knowing though, detect magic, cantrip, that's good.
I do already have it, just not prepared.
Right.
That's fine. I also have that cantrip deck, but I can just sell that, I guess.
Indeed. All right, so weirdly, this is somewhat, it's not super important. It says you've learned it as an arcane innate spell, 1st level detect magic. Interesting. So, the only reason I bring that up, I don't know if you've tried this. Have you tried sliding it in somewhere just to see if it works? Without having to make a whole new spell screen? So try putting it in your arcane prepared spells under those cantrips. Or if it takes a slot.
Being weird, give me a second.
Yep, no worries. If you need my assistance, just let me know. If that doesn't work, we need to make another spellbook for you, technically.
Another arcane spellbook.
Another one, yeah. Well, you have arcane focus spells, you have arcane prepared spells, but you also have primal innate spells specifically from the thing you have, that little rock, Scatter Scree, and from your wand, Burning Hands.
No, I think it needs another thing.
Hell yeah, another spellcasting entry. All right, we will. I'll do that now.
Oh, I can do it.
And while you're doing that, what was one of the other feats you took so I can drag it in for you?
Non-lethal spell for my wizard feat.
Your class feat, non-lethal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Non-lethal spell.
Non-lethal spells? What do you mean? Skill everyone.
I can just make a spell not kill people if it does damage, basically.
Nice.
As long as it doesn't have the death or negative trait, I can make it so it doesn't kill people.
And that's your class feature?
Yeah.
All right, and then what's the other archetype you took?
The only one I can take, which is turn back the clock.
Ooh.
I think it's definitely useful.
That sounds cool. All right, turn back the clock. Frequency, once per day. Trigger. You you fail a skill check or a saving throw. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a reaction. After failing a test of your reflexes, you hop back into your you hop back in your personal timeline so you can try again.
Yep.
Oh lord! You reroll the triggering effect. With a +1 circumstance bonus. Very cool. As you apply your experience from your last attempt, you must use the new result even if it's worse. Very cool. I like that.
The only one I could take.
Hey, and it added the reaction automatically. Hell yeah, I love it does that.
I don't think they added the new tattoo yet to Foundry.
They might not have.
So I can't add them to my cute little list.
Or they're hiding somewhere. That's always the case.
And
I'm
then
not
just need to
searching for
find
tattoos,
spells.
so they're definitely not here.
Ah, darn.
Do I get any more? I think I might get one more spell slot for level 2.
For your level 4 right now, so you have 3 level 1 spots and 3 level 2 slots. You only had 2 before, so yes. You gain 1 additional level 2 spell slot.
You have to manually do it every time.
Oh, okay. Do you know which spell you want to take? Oh, wait. If you just increase cantrip manually to 6, can't you add it to the top without having to add a new entry?
Oh, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's considered an innate one. It's just a cantrip.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
could just
Yeah, go ahead and try that real quick. So we don't have to make a new entry. You can. Okay, cool. And then we can... Oh, shit. Can you customize Tech Magic? Let me see. Can you right-click it?
I don't know if it really matters. I can just cast it cantrip anyways.
Yeah. I was going to... So you can see on Burning Hands, see how I have a little note next to it where it says wand? I was going to try to add a note to that saying where it came from so we know where it came from. But not a big deal. Perfectly fine.
Spells I want to add. I have no idea, really. There's way too many.
There's a lot, yeah. When you went to look, I was like, oof. Alrighty. And then now, firing this over to Vega, what are you grabbing?
For my archetype, I could only grab the single skill. For skill feats...
You're grabbing Soul Flare, right?
For archetype feats, yeah.
Okay.
All right, for skill feats, I linked them. I wasn't sure if I liked Terrifying Resistance better, or I really wanted an additional lore, specifically for necromancy.
I mean, the good part about that lore feat is that it automatically scales.
That is true.
Okay, so Terrifying Resistance is pretty cool. Basically, if you don't like someone, you go to them, and obviously your demoralizers will get better as you level and such. And specifically against them, you get a +1 to saving throws against them in particular. That's pretty good. And then additional lore, yeah, basically what he said. So realistically, it's up to you. One's more defensive, one is more, I know about certain things. It has to obviously make sense. So are you like maybe channeling some of the information or remembering what you were taught with your goddess's teachings from long ago?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, that works.
I guess I'll think about that one. All right, I definitely need help with my class feat. I can't decide.
Do you have a list or too many you're looking at?
Hang on, I'll link them.
Okay. And then for Soul Flare, trigger, an attack made with your weapon misses the creature, or a creature hits you with an attack while you have the weapon out. You have to... Oh, it has to be manifested. Okay. You strive to change the outcome with sheer zeal. You take a +1 status bonus to your attack roll. If you're making an attack, this can change the outcome of the roll. If this bonus turns your missed attack into a hit, or the hit against you a miss, attempt a flat check. If you fail, your armament is dismissed. Your weapon, if you attack, interesting. That doesn't have a... You can do it whenever you want. All right, cool. Very interesting. God, how many reactions are you taking?
I like the reactions.
I mean, they're cool. Wounded Rage. That one's simple. Trigger. You take damage and are capable of entering rage. You roar in pain, awakening the rage. Oh, so basically just as a reaction, you take damage and then just rage?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, you're always running to the front and not activating rage because you're trying to use all your other moves, so that kind of makes sense.
Exactly.
And that is a good use of your reaction.
I mean, I can't remember. Don't you eventually get a skill to free action rage, or am I thinking of something else?
Possibly. You definitely... I mean,
that's probably a super high level if it is, but...
Right, yeah.
Which I'm never going to get because I'm going to swap characters, so...
Yeah. So for where you currently are, I mentioned this before, if you ever take a feat and you really, really don't like it, you're not stuck with the feat forever. Just let me know how your character wants to retrain it, or how you're looking into something new, and we'll switch it. So if for whatever reason you're like, wow, I'm never using this, or holy shit, this is way worse than I thought it was, we'll switch it out. So for example, if you end up hitting level 8 or something on Vega or whatever, and you're like, okay, Wounded Rage actually sucks, just swap it out for something else, it's fine. If it's literally useless, that feels silly. So I'm totally cool with that. The other one is you fail a perception or skill check. Though no one sees them and only you can hear them, the spirits around you constantly chatter, save when you are raging. Sometimes they're even helpful. You can heed the spirit's guidance to re-roll the triggering check using the second result, even if it's worse. Once per day. Okay, so once per day when you're doing a thing, as long as you're not raging. Oh, it's a fortune effect. Cool. Yeah, basically just advantage almost.
And then oversized throw. I keep trying to pick stuff up that's my size, and you won't let me do it.
Did you link it? Oh shit, that's so big I didn't even see it.
Now I can pick it up and toss it, and it does damage.
So, you still couldn't do that. This says a thing that's a creature.
A living rock is a thing.
Not according to the rules, unfortunately. It has to be an object specifically.
God damn it.
So this does let you throw shit, if that's what you want to do. It's good for throwing things.
All right, well, like I said,
free for this.
I like all three, so I don't know.
It's definitely a little weird. I will say spiritual guide is a little is odd.
I think actually there is a different feat line for throwing enemies.
Oh, there very much is. There's literally a whole wrestling line that you pick dudes up. They're like really big.
No, part of baseline barbarian because
There is too.
that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. There is too. There's a if you combo it with wrestler, it makes you stupid good at picking dudes up and just chucking them.
Yeah, I mean, there's also one that allows you to pick up friends and throw them. So
Yep. Yeah, there's a full on wrestling barbarian build. It combos with base feats and wrestling feats. It makes you stupid good. So in terms of the most use, you'll get Wounded Rage, 100%. Spiritual guide.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for spiritual guide, you need to remember to use it. It's only once per day, and this is still technically good. So if you're trying to bust a door open and you roll a 3, of course you have hero points, but you only have so many of those. This is basically a free hero point for a check, or you're looking around, checking the horizon. Oh, there's a thing. So that's obviously an option. You'll get more use out of Wounded Rage, but you do lots of checks, so that's totally up to you.
Oh, good. There's kind of like a divination wizard spell in this where I can store a d20.
Oh, is it
nice.
for the time one or something else?
No, it's just normal arcane spell.
Oh, it's a
Called
spell.
Lucky Number. Yeah.
Very cool. Level 3 or higher?
2.
Okay. Ooh.
just casual free portents, it's fine.
Yeah, that means you're going to take it. Nice.
Can you also apply it to enemy throws, or is it just for your own?
I think it's just for.
Nah, that's less useful then.
I mean, it's still pretty useful if I roll like a nat 20.
Sure, but if you roll below or a low number, then it's basically wasted.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Still useful.
I'm going to do Wounded Rage.
I think Wounded Rage sounds awesome. And then for
I mean, considering I keep forgetting to rage, so.
Yeah, you do it pretty frequently. And the thing is, I don't blame you, because you can trip, you can yell at dudes. You have a lot of options. There's a lot of tactics involved in combat. There's so many things you got to look at. There's just a lot going on, so I get it.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that rage is actively banned for you currently.
It's better now that you have more health.
True. Yeah, I mean, true, but
Because the temp HP is fine, but you didn't put that much in the con, so it's so nice seeing your saves go up. You're not stuck in a +2 reflex for the whole game. Jesus, you got +12 reflex. Man, your saves are actually really good on our list. 8, 12, and 10.
yeah, that's ranger.
That's so good.
I think as a ranger, I have one of the best save in general.
Waifu has a +7 to reflex.
+7. What is
That's-
a dex?
Not good. She didn't put anything dex really. The problem is the build she wants, she has to have. Unfortunately, she has to have 2 points in wisdom. So 4 +2 to wisdom. She doesn't need charisma. So that's the nice thing. When you're trying to scare people, you don't need charisma.
Well,
It scales with your level. Dex and con are a little more important. Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's definitely weird. For every point, the thing is, you guys are going to get skill upgrades eventually.
I mean, it's true, but if you don't scale your charisma at all, you end up being behind, like up to 4 points or 5 points, which is bad. But yeah.
Oh yeah, it's super rough. I mean, obviously, if you dump everything in, it's like a 10-20% increase over what you currently have. But the nice thing is, if you keep increasing that skill, that also increases it, which is really, really nice. So she's great at athletics, +10. She's good at throwing shit and getting grippy on fools. Let me squeeze your brain for you.
All right, I need a 4th tattoo to learn.
Right.
The low-level ones are a bit trash, are they?
Do you believe that is the intent, unfortunately?
Yeah, I mean, they are utility mostly, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Makes sense, but yeah. What am I gonna do with Memoir Map?
Alrighty, in terms of what's going on with Arbalist, if you want to get into that and what this physician found.
I don't know, do I want to do it at this level, or?
Up to you. I will say the way you're wanting to do it, it's just not going to happen, realistically.
Too bad.
How does bleed damage work again?
It's a dot, basically. It's like any persistent
how does it
damage.
fall off?
Yeah, you have to roll a
one.
flat check. It's not great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You take damage every turn, and then you have to take a flat 15 check, I believe.
it's bad, yeah.
And you can assist to reduce it to a 10 if you succeed.
Yeah, so you can have acid, fire, bleeding. You can have all these dots on you at once, and at the beginning of your turn, you take all of them at once. And if you're downed, you're just dead, basically, because each is the instance of
It's
damage.
really strong as well.
Yeah, persistent damage is basically a guaranteed kill if you go down. You do not want to have persistent damage on you when you go down.
To add Blood Vendetta.
Blood Vendetta?
Yep.
That sounds really cool.
Imagine getting Blood Vendetta. Alright, so I can do it at this level. It's just going to take a while to change all that stuff over.
Okay, if you want to, then
It's going to be a bit weird to explain because I didn't prepare for this specifically, but how do you want to do this?
definitely up to you. We're taking some days of downtime to, help with the town and whatnot. Of course, Ferris is going to pay you all, so that'll happen after. I'll throw some money your guys' way. But this in general, they're allowing an excuse for you to basically step off to the side while he looks at your body. And for however extensive you want this to be, like, oh, we did this and discovered this, which let us discover this, which then led to blank. We might not know what it means. We know as, players, but your character might not know what it means, and we'll just have that change take place.
How about we just go with he wants to do some more research, more invasive, and you know what, I'm fine with it because I have downtime and I don't know, he's gonna pay me for it. I too am curious about what the hell is going on with my body after all. So he gives me a bunch of anesthetics, puts me under, and I wake up mid-surgery because he just said anesthetics don't work.
It's the most horrifying thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's like cutting to my bone basically on my left arm, but I'm not phased at all. In fact, I am, I don't know, I guess remembering.
Does the pain cause you to remember, or the realization that this is
No,
triggering?
I'm not feeling any pain.
Okay.
It's more so that when I look at my open arm, I see a lot of weird markings on my bone and in my flesh, I guess, that are definitely not supposed to be there. And then I start getting flashes of tattoos and how to make them and what exactly they are. And then I realize, oh fuck, I'm not human. And then you guys also get told by me that I'm actually an android.
So we kind of discussed and decided somewhere in between. Think of it very much like a Magitech. They enhance his people enhance their bodies with technology. Now, of course, we don't know this.
Instead of like nanomachine son, it's magic son.
Effectively, yeah. So he's not, like a Warforged or, pure I am a robot. They are people that enhance themselves to a degree that's definitely too far for some folk, of course. But for them, they still retained who they are. So what, ethnicity or ancestry they were prior, doesn't matter. You work with the state, you work with the people, you're accepted for who you are. Anyone can make it to any rank and whatnot. So they didn't look down on this procedure. It only made their abilities better or more suited for what they were trying to do.
Yeah. The obvious downsides were that for anyone looking on the outside of this society, they just saw a bunch of weird mutated magical monsters effectively. And something you definitely notice after the surgery, when Arbalest woke up effectively and realized stuff and reactivated his circuitry, magical circuitry, it has started softly glowing, and it is now very visible under his skin. It's a bit off-putting to look at, honestly.
And you're saying the tattoos that you had basically look like our world circuitry, right?
Yeah, they look like... Actually, do I have a picture of that?
So in terms of what this means for the character sheet, does your ancestry change to android? And
yes.
Okay.
Just my base ancestry and some stats, but that's it.
Okay. So I believe you can just delete human.
Yeah.
And of course, upon this realization, the person cutting into you kind of gives the whole like, well, I'm not sure how to respond to this precisely. But he won't say anything.
Tattoos look kind of like that. I mean, obviously we know what it means. In world, nobody knows what it means.
Yes. So characters and folks seeing this do know that it's a little off, but they don't know why it's off.
Which is going to be reflected in the fact that I'm going to be losing my charisma. I also get a -1 on all my charisma-based rolls on top of that. So effectively a -2.
Oh, joy. So
yes.
I will let you mess with your stats and removing human and changing it out for android and whatnot. I guess just remember, you can do whatever you want with your stats as long as it's in line with what it's supposed to be. But
I think our stats are exactly the same, except I lose a charisma and gain like a constitution or something. But
yeah, so it can be that, or you can just keep it the same because there is the rule of just increasing to your stats by 1 each. So, or +1/+1.
No, I mean I'm losing charisma anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. So real quick, while he's doing that, I can show you, Kane. I put bleed on Ferris. So I'll just have his turn go. And then on the top of his turn... Oh, didn't do it. Let's see. What's the effect? Oh, until the bleeding stops, the target has weakness 1 to piercing and slashing. Ooh. That's not what I wanted, but interesting. Oh, there we go. The target takes half the persistent bleed damage. Okay, there we go. All right, so you just drag it onto them like that. So you don't roll it. We take the persistent damage specifically. So when you link the spell, I drag the nonsense off. I put it onto the target, and we'll ignore what we saw there first. So he has it. He'll take his turn. It ends. He rolls a recovery check. So you see right there, it says persistent damage, 2d6 bleed. At the end of his turn, he'll roll recovery check. So I need to roll a flat 15. There's no way to change this. So I rolled a 14. That's a failure. So you then take your turn. Goes back to his turn. It tells me I have... Yep, it says I have persistent damage. And then at the end of his turn, he again takes 8 damage and has to roll a recovery. Fails again, and that just continues.
This is fine.
Okay, so he took 46 damage because he didn't get to recover. So that can be absolutely brutal.
Well, I have to get stabbed first to do it because it's a reaction, but...
Hey, just run out there, start flailing, do your thing.
Oh, wait, it doesn't have a range, so if I get, like, shot or something from long range, then that works too.
Let's see. Requirements, you can bleed. Trigger. A creature deals piercing, slashing, or persistent... What? They do persistent bleed damage to you. That's hilarious, actually. You curse the target, punishing them. The range is 30 feet. So as long as they're within 30 feet of you...
Oh, there's 30 feet. Okay.
Yeah, which makes sense. So you're, in the general area. You curse them, punishing them for having the audacity to spill your blood. I love that. Then they make a will save and take 2d6 damage over and over and over and over. If they critically succeed, nothing happens. If they succeed, they take half the damage. If they fail, they take the full damage until the bleeding stops. The target is also weak to 1 piercing and 1 slashing damage. How convenient that Vega does slashing and Arbalest does piercing.
Nice.
And then in terms of your ancestry feats, you're swapping the old ones out for anything we need to worry about, or is it mostly the same?
Definitely something you need to know, probably.
Is the first one emotionally unaware or a different one?
Emotionally unaware is a baseline trait for my android, which gives me a -1 to my stuff.
Yeah, diplomacy, perception, and on perception to sense motive. Nice. And then constructed, your synthetic body resists ailments better than those of purely biological organisms. You get a +1 circumstance bonus to saving throws against diseases, poisons, and radiation. I wonder why they'd mention that.
Why would they mention radiation? Who knows? That doesn't exist in this world, right?
No, definitely not.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Let's see. Class features stay the same. Right.
Which should be just class. Ancestry is
My
ancestry.
ancestry feat is changing because I can no longer take natural ambition, and I don't need it. That's going to become Ghost Hunter.
Ghost Hunter?
Ghost Hunter.
Nice. And that's taken from Dustwalker, right?
Yes.
All right. Alrighty, now we got Ghost Hunter. And what's a Ghost Hunter do?
Like, I'm not sure if it's ever going to matter. It gives me the effect of, or it allows me to attack incorporeal creatures as if magical. And if my weapon is magical, they will react as if I have a ghost touch weapon, which they usually have a weakness to. So basically, I'm ignoring their resistance to my normal attacks.
Excellent.
Which is a leftover that I remembered from regaining memories of like the afterlife that I come from. Because I suddenly remember a few things.
All right, and Arbalest, this physician, they trust you. The fact that you let them look at you and you're trusting them with this much means they are returning the trust. They won't tell anyone, of course. If you have any questions, you can always come back. If you want to test anything new, you can always come back. And if you want to, share this information with your allies, from what you know, which is limited, of course, but it's definitely news.
Like, I'll definitely be covering my tattoos up a bit more now. And then I'll go meet my party, I guess, and tell them about my discoveries.
Wow, you get weirder and weirder every time you find something new.
I mean, the good kind of weird, right? Apparently, people look down on whatever the hell I am, so...
I mean, it's cool with me, but I don't know about anyone else.
I mean, weird fits with us.
Exactly, it's cool with me.
Well, I hope it's cool with your goddess, because from my memories that I've regained, a lot of people were not cool with my kind, especially the godly kind.
No, I think my god and goddess are pretty laid back.
Speaking of others that did not take kindly to my nation, I did remember some parts of my previous life.
Oh, and?
Well, I'm pretty sure I was a soldier of some kind.
We knew that already.
I'm also pretty damn sure that I died during a siege on my, I guess, capital city. In fact, I vividly remember being impaled.
A little creepy.
Yeah, I mean, last moments of my life, I think it's kind of engraved. And as far as the war specifically goes, yeah, I think it was the Waste War, it was called, right? I think that was the start of it. So it went by a different name for my people. It was called the Accusation Wars, actually.
Accusation wars? Why?
Well, the accusations, as they were, nations surrounding ours, you know, the godly kinds that I was just speaking about, accused us of summoning a god or a titan or some kind of celestial being and using them as a testing bed for our enhancements, I guess. Basically, they thought that we were eating them or something. It's weird.
Do you know what you really did?
Well, not that. All of these were magical enhancements. They were hundreds of years of studies. I don't remember exactly who or why we were accused of these things, but it was definitely stoked by someone.
As most wars start.
And I guess it eventually grew into something larger. What's weird, though, is that I don't remember us being on the losing side. Our city was being sieged from all sides, but we were perfectly safe. Nothing could breach our walls. In fact, we had allies actually coming over.
But you died before it ended, right? So something could have happened afterwards.
Yes, that's the weird part, you know, that memory of me dying, being impaled. That was inside of our walls.
Were you backstabbed?
No, something, I don't know, I remember walls collapsing. Not by the enemy army, some from underneath. Like something came from there.
Hang on, what do you mean?
Shrug, I don't know. That's the last thing I remember.
So you were impaled by like a fall? You fell on something?
More like, how do I explain this? Like the ground itself came alive and decided to stab me. And with it destroyed, well, a good portion of the wall.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's definitely nothing of those events recorded in the books that I read. I mean, I guess I could ask Arthur.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
Might also explain why the entire capital city has been razed, exactly. There's nothing left of it from the pictures that I saw.
Well, I've heard rumors of big scary things hiding underground, so who the hell knows?
I sure don't. I do intend to find out, though.
It would be good to know, yes.
And I also intend to find out exactly where these accusations come from. I'm not the vengeful type, but I feel like I should take some kind of revenge.
What are the chances more of your people are still around? Maybe others who remember bits and pieces?
I mean, it's not like our country was like isolated or anything. We had travelers. We were known. We had a sudden look of realization on his head, on his face. We had ways of reading our information stored in our tattoos. I think I just remembered how to find out what my name was.
By all means, go ahead.
Well, it's going to be a bit tougher than that. I'm going to have to find an object for that. Or another of my kind, I guess. I don't think there's many people that can read these out. Shows hand.
Does
But
not
there
show
is-
hand.
Yeah, but there were devices because, you know, we can't just have the people walking around with our tattoos, not being able to identify them. They were part of our culture, our structure, our hierarchy.
We can see if Arthur can get his hands on one.
Maybe.
I'm assuming it's probably rare.
It shouldn't be too rare. Like, it's something you would give out to surrounding nations so they can, you know, find criminals, validate
Oh,
loot.
well, in that case, maybe my boss might be able to get their hands on one.
Maybe. I mean, it's relatively simple. It's just a. Actually, let me draw something for you real quick as I search for the image that I showed Yeti. Actually, can I link that in Foundry? Can you show it in Foundry? Yeti?
Yeah, you might be able to. I'm not sure.
Not sure they can see that.
They can see it. Players can see it. I can technically add it as a custom item at some point.
Because
Yeah, I
this
can
is
click it.
okay. Can you see the image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would basically describe you a crystal ball with that mark the icon in the middle of it in like a ruby red.
Will we be going back to the my boss anytime soon?
Define soon.
Within the next week?
Oh, definitely not now.
All right. Can I write them a letter with what to look for?
Yeah, definitely. And what are you asking for exactly?
To see if they can get their hands on one of these.
It'll definitely be difficult, of course, mainly because they don't really know what it is. But of course, you still have your
kinds, by the way.
Yeah, you still have your one a day. What's up, Mr. Wizard Man? You can definitely poke him too.
If they happen to come across multiple of them, the bigger it is, the better. Just in case.
All right. I guess I'll ask what's his face for one too. Oh God, how to describe it in 25 words or less?
All right, if I do this,
very carefully.
Y'all can see this, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that's the Eladirian crest.
All right, cool.
I forgot.
And while you guys are discussing this, Ferris is nearby, but not necessarily listening to the conversation. You're all listening to music that's been playing in the background. It's open mic night, effectively. Anyone's allowed to come up and basically just do whatever they want. Ferris basically said, meet me on the first floor. We'll hang out, we'll eat. Drinks are on me. He's, at least the mood you're getting from him, he's very happy y'all didn't just peace out immediately after you guys' first assignment. In fact, he's very happy you didn't just peace out on him. You could almost tell he was expecting one of the 6 of you to leave, but everyone seems to indeed be fine. There's been another day, of course, we had plenty of downtime, messing with this, that, and the other. And he basically said after everyone's done playing, he'll pay you guys. He'll make sure, it's worth it. You guys actually brought back more than he was expecting. So Ferris is incredibly impressed. Of course, there is something for you to do in the future once things have been properly taken care of. They're getting some scouts coming back that are returning with some very sensitive information. They're also getting their far-range scouts. As mentioned before, there are multiple hubs very similar to Stone Crab, just big cities all over the place where we think these undead outbreaks are occurring. And we're trying our absolute best to communicate with each other. Have we found the epicenter? Have we found, a hovel in which they are being spawned? Where are these things coming from? Why are they coming? Etc., etc. So upon sharing all this information, things are getting dire, but are looking up. As he thinks they found a location, he'll let you know more next week, of course, where maybe we can actually do some damage to this horde. And prior to him sharing this and you guys doing your thing, the current person playing bows. All the music for the night has been very relaxed, very chill. Not really too many lyrics. If they are, they're complimentary, a little spice on the side. And if the current person steps down, the wonderful Lavi rushes up onto the stage, tripping and almost dropping her instrument, but she kind of flips up onto herself and catches it, and then turns to the crowd and poses as if to say, like, "Ha! Good." And in particular, she looks towards your group, actually. Malia, Philip, Sign, and the 3 of you. After meeting eyes with you all, she gives a bow and says, "I am here tonight. I have dedicated music to the wonderful soldiers that have defended us and brought back all of the wonderful trinkets that you have. I thank you. And so does the town of Stonecrab." She smiles, gives another bow, and immediately jumps back into a brand new "what the hell is she doing" song, but damn it, she is trying. There are some people laughing, expecting her song to get better. In terms of technical skill, she is far louder. Some people that were sleeping drunk, sitting next to you, Kane, there's some dude that's completely conked out. The second she starts playing, the dude basically has a panic attack, just what? And he's like looking around. He almost knocks his beer over. He catches it after spilling like half of it, and he's like looking at Lavi and looking at you, Kane, to say like, are we being attacked? Are we being killed? And he's looking for you for validation, Kane.
I'll just pat him on the back and be like, "It's okay, buddy. Go back to sleep."
Oh, okay. He leans back on the desk after twitching a couple times and falls asleep worryingly fast. But Lavi has a ton of fun, kicking the chair over, jumping around the stage, dancing, and hoping to spread as much joy as she possibly can, no matter how awful it sounds, to everyone here in the Liquid Truth. While she's doing that, we shall pause, receive payment, and new information next week.